Well, it's finally here. Masters Week taking place, of course, down at Augusta National. And take a look at the course. We love to see it as we wait for the world's best to descend on the state of Georgia, such as Rory Mackay, still in search of completing that career Grand Slam. Caddie still in hunt for his first win of the season. And some other familiar faces and past champions will be lurking as well when it comes to this week at the Masters. Let's go back in the time machine, though. 2004, Phil Mickelson had birdied 5 of his last 7 holes, but none bigger than this one on 18. From 18 feet away, shot 31 on the back 9, the best for a winner since Jack Nicklaus since 1986. And Lefty said after this one, I played arguably my best round of my career. Take a look at who he's hugging there, his caddy. And we say that because the man joining us there after Lefty put on the jacket here, back in 2004, joined us here in 2025, the Caddie and golf broadcaster Jim Bones Mackay, who joins us on behalf of IBM. But Jim, I want to go back to that time, 2004, that winning putt. Give me a sense of what was going through your head and Lefty's as well.
Well, as you mentioned, it was a historical comeback for Phil. He had gotten off to a tough start on the front 9 and started his run with a birdie on 12, and then they just wouldn't stop in terms of the birdies coming. And he made a birdie on 16 to ultimately tie Ernie Els, who I think was finished at that point, and he walked over to the side of the green and whacked me really hard in the rear end with the putter grip and said, let's make one more. So he was intent on birdieing either 17 or 18 to win his first Masters. And as you can see here in the video, he hit an 8-iron to this spot behind the hole location, made the putt. And it was a big celebration. It was a long time coming. You know, in the era of Tiger Woods, it was really hard to win majors back then, and was really happy for him that he was able to pull it off.
Lefty, of course, we saw the baby vert there, but I'm curious, what did you say to him after that putt went in? What was the conversation between you guys?
You know, you're just walking on air for a while. He got whisked away and had to spend some time certainly with the media and with the members at the end of that. But I went over to his house later that night, and you just sit around and you're like watching a replay of the golf and just enjoying the best work evening you're ever going to have in your life. And I've always been a believer that if you took truth serum and you injected it into every professional golfer and said, okay, you can only win one major, what you want it to be, that virtually everybody would say the Masters. And certainly I think Phil felt that way, that it was the one that he wanted to win the absolute most. And to see him, in a sense, kind of fulfill his dream and to win his first major was very, very rewarding.
That was his first green jacket, as you mentioned there at Augusta National. But as you know, it's a learning experience playing on this course for players this week. They will know that, and they actually have some rain coming now today. That will change the conditions there. What are some of the learning curves that they might expect this week?
It's a great point. You know, they're going to have to monitor very carefully how the course is playing in terms of how receptive the greens are. Certainly at Augusta National, they have these things called sub-air systems, which enables you to suck the moisture out of the green, you know, once it's rained. And, you know, the question is, how firm and fast will they get? The forecast post today is for 70 degrees and sunny, so it should get a little crispier as the week goes on. But you want to pay attention relative to your chips and your putts, just how fast the greens are getting as we get further away from the rain.
Speaking of some of those great golfers that we're seeing, some of the top of the world, Rory Mackay, of course, still looking for his first green jacket, trying to complete the Grand Slam for his career. If you were on the bag for Rory this week, kind of help me and walk me through, what would you say to him to keep that mindset intact for this week?
I would just remind him that he's won multiple majors before, and that this is a golf course where he doesn't have to be perfect to win the tournament. He's the best driver of the ball in the game. As everybody knows, length is a great asset to have around Augusta National. So, you know, while some guys that don't hit the ball as far or get their iron stopped as quickly may have to be a little bit more on point, if you will, he can just, you know, kind of take it easy a little bit. Of course, you don't want to shoot yourself in the foot and get off to a poor start. But I think if he just dominates the par 5s, which he should with his length, and just do things like avoid double bogeys and avoid 3 putts, he should be there at the end of the week.
Jim, you know better than anybody. That sounds easier said than done, but we will see if that's the case for Rory and others. Outside of that, I need your prediction. Who wins this week in your eyes?
If I had to pick, I would say Scottie Scheffler, just because I think it's so much easier to win the Masters having won it once or twice before. He's got far less pressure on him than a guy like McIlroy, but no question, as much as I think Scottie's going to win, Rory is the sentimental favorite. And it would be great for golf, great for him. He's a real ambassador for the game, and I think a lot of people would get a real kick out of him winning the tournament.
Scotty, of course, looking for his first win of the season. On top of that, he's been a lot of headlines because of that championship dinner menu. So I'm curious, if there was a Champions Caddie dinner menu and you had a chance to put one together, what do we put on the table? What are we eating?
So we probably get takeout from the Waffle House, considering I'm a caddy. I'm not sure. It's that's hilarious. It's probably some kind of barbecue, to be honest with you. But just the thought of having a caddy winner's dinner would be something incredible. That's for sure.
I mean, did Phil actually give you a little something from the table? Did you get a doggy bag, or did we get to-go menu? Anything from that?
It's a great question. I got nothing that night.
Oh.
I'll have to think about that in the future. Remind my friends that are still caddying that maybe they should look for the little doggy bag coming out of that Champions dinner. That's a great point.
Exactly. In the contract, we need food. That's part of the deal there. I got a few quick ones here for you. Caddy outfits, comfortable, not comfortable? Could it rain? Your thoughts on that?
They're not nearly as thick as they used to be. So when it's hot, you can tolerate it. But the reality of caddying at the Masters is you have so much adrenaline because it is the Masters that it's never going to bother you. It's part of the history and tradition of the event. And I think everyone's more than happy to put it on.
I've always wondered, how they do in the rain and in the heat too. Are they like some vents or something? But clearly there's no circulation. But like you said, they're thinner than the past, so that is a good thing. Finally, before I let you go, you're here on behalf of IBM this week. Tell us what you're doing with them.
Well, IBM has gone through this process called Enhanced Hole Insights. It's available on Masters.com and on the Masters Insight, and it's an amazing thing where they've basically taken 9 years of data, 180,000 shots, and they're able to compare a shot that's just hit to this incredible database instantaneously. So it gives the fan experience, it enhances the fan experience to the degree where you can see exactly what's going on, compare it to what's happened in the past, and know that if you're playing from that front bunker on 12 to a back right hole location, you've got about a 69% chance of not getting the ball up and down, or that you can attack a pin on the front right of the 7th hole. You're almost ahead of the game in terms of what's going on within the Masters, and it's an incredible thing. It helps the caddies and the players. They can actually utilize this before the rounds to see what's going on out there in terms of the way the golf course is playing. It takes into account the hole locations. It's just this amazing thing that IBM can present through the app and Masters.com. They've got this incredible 30-year working relationship with the Masters, and it just gets better and better in terms of what they provide.
Sounds like something you need to stick in the bag if you're caddying for somebody and just peek at the iPad a couple times, just a couple looks.
Amen to that, yeah.
All right, appreciate it. Jim Bones, Mackay, appreciate your time getting us ready for the Masters, my friend. Thank you for everything. And, of course, that moment with Phil Mickelson back in 2004. Take care. Don't forget, we're not done with Masters coverage this week. Mornings at the Masters, you can catch that starting Wednesday, April 9th, all the way through Sunday, that final round on YouTube as well daily. As I mentioned there, of course, we are all thing Augusta starting now.